It with Vernell, Atamah and head coach Nimz as the Demons following a tough one tonight against UIW. Coach, a couple opening thoughts and then a couple questions after that.
I mean, truthfully, it was a dominant performance. 9 turnovers, which is the lowest we've had in a long time. 26 points off second chance rebounds. Won the rebounding war by over 10. 27 points, I think, in the paint. Scored 11 points off their turnovers. It's not often you lose that game. Incredible dominant performance by V. We just didn't get it done. But so many positives, so many dominant things that statistically you look at that, you take care of the ball, you win the rebounding war, and in the fashion that they did, plus the boards, the rebound putbacks, like you win that game by 20. But we allowed 3 players to have 56. We allowed Madison Cockrell to have 0 at half and 21 to end the game. So normally we really do a good job. The girls do a really good job of protecting the 3-point line. Now, I think a lot of those girls hit some very, very contested threes. So I don't think that that's a lack on them on a lot of the defensive plays. I think they hit, but I think we let Madison Cockrell get going. We got into foul trouble, and then we just didn't really have anybody getting their average tonight on offense. So it was V, and she got the average of 2, but we needed one more at least. And then just big kudos to Claire. I mean, she had 17 boards, 10 of them of which were offensive, so definitely kept us in the game. Joss hits the clutch 3 coming in off the bench, one of the most remarkable kids ever. Just doesn't care. She plays, I mean, she does care, but like she'll come in and be ready to go and, catch, shoot 3, great. But 2 possession game, I didn't think we showed enough fight at the very end, just in our trapping ability and whatnot. But statistically, it was remarkable. My dad's text was best game of the year, best effort of the year, and I think he's right in a lot of different ways. But we all just got to show up, and we all got to figure out how to impact winning, whether it's with the ball in our hands or without the ball in our hands, just different things. And so tough one to swallow. I hate it for the girls. Too many couple close, too many 2 possession games that we've left on the board. But we have a big thing. We have a big game coming up. So we've got to learn. We've got to grow from it. Obviously, there's going to be a big impact, a big focus on yours truly over here. Special player, special human. But we got to get back after it tomorrow, and we almost got to forget about it, learn from it, and then quickly forget about it and be juiced up and ready to go and protect Prather. HCU's coming off a win. They went down to Commerce and won, and so they're going to come here hungry, and we've got to be more hungry.
V, I'll jump to you. I feel like I speak for you when you would trade probably half those points for a win tonight. But tell me your thoughts on the game perspective. Obviously, the 33 points is an incredible performance, career high for you. But
I know we lost, but that's incredible. That's very good. It's very good.
There's not very many 30-point scorers in Northwestern history, so you're on that exceptional list. But tough game. Thoughts on it from your perspective out on the court?
I believe, especially as our starting group, we just need to start better. I feel like it started from the start of the game. We had our moments, obviously. They had their moments. We had our positives. But I feel like, me personally, I let Gwendolyn get hot. She hit threes, and I know she's a shooter, and like she did have us on our shores, especially me. But to start on her, and like she started off 3 almost back to back. Yeah, I can't let that happen no more. But that's something, me personally, I can do better, just starting off better defensively, and trying to get our team more fired up. I feel like that's one area that we lack today. Just trying to get everybody going. Yeah, I need to do that better more. But overall, I think we played well. One of our better games. Obviously, Cece doing what she does. T was in foul trouble, but when she was on the court, she definitely showed up. Naya doing what she does. Claire, just just wonderful on the boards. But I'm trying to see, like, I need to do better, and us as a team need to do better at pulling away a win from a game like that.
I think what was disappointing is we got up 7, or we got up 5, or we got up, and V's being hard on ourselves, because when you go back and look at film, I would say 75% of Gwendolyn's threes were highly contested. And I think of that about a handful of them. I think the biggest kicker was we let Cockrell get loose. George Elliott, she's been averaging 20 plus. She had 15. It's still over her average, but you can handle 2, but we couldn't handle 3 20-point kids. But V's right. a lot of collective effort, a lot of positives. Like I went through 9 turnovers, so low. We scored more, we scored 11 points, 26 points off second chance, 27 O boards, 10 by one kid alone. I think Carla dang near almost got, close to a double-double. I think she was tickling probably double-digit rebounds. I think she got her average. I think Nia had 5 assists on the night. But 2 possession games, we've just got to dig deeper. We've got to dig deeper, and I've got to find a way to help the girls come out with those wins.
And then finally, Coach, it really seemed like that third quarter when it was both teams were making shots left and right. It seemed like every time we would hit a shot, we would hit a 3 or Nia hit a 3 or whatever, they had an answer. Yep. And we could never really get that separation. I think we needed to come away with the win in a game like this.
Yeah, and like I said, I think we broke it out to 7. But they were hard to get away from, and they're shooting about 39, vastly different from when we first played them. They were shooting roughly 23s. They're shooting 30, 34, 39. Whereas us and SFA and UTRGV usually are the gunslingers. UIW's definitely added themselves into the mix. And then I think we played poorly on a couple kids and maybe just didn't respect them enough from the 3-point line. So we gave them confidence, to go ahead and continue to do that. But like I said, tons of positives. The stat line I just gave you win that game by 20. And so, we put together the same exact effort, maybe a little extra juice in moments, and we keep putting our foot down. But like Coach A was talking in the locker room, you don't always have the opportunity to play with championship caliber kids. And I think we have that in the locker room, and we need to take complete advantage. And like I said, I need to do a better job as a coach of giving them maybe something extra, finding a way to get them juiced up a little bit more. But disappointing loss. But I guess the best thing about having 5 games in 10 days is very quick memory, very short memory, I should say. And tomorrow now has to be solely about HCU and what we did well and what we didn't do well and how we need to capitalize and obviously send us on our last road trip with a win in our pocket. And so that's going to be our focus. We challenged them, had our heart-to-heart in the locker room. We all collectively, me too. We just got to rise up, take the challenge head on, and be better on Saturday. Find a way to be better when, like I said, that stat line's tremendous. So that's a lot of hard work that went into that stat line. That doesn't just happen. And that's not just a talent thing. That's an absolute hard work, grit, determination thing. But we fell short by 2 possessions.
Well, Coach, I'll let your championship caliber player get to the ice bath. I know she probably needs it. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Welcome.